Before we start, a quick update on 2B. I thought Goodsmile would only send me a replacement for the neck. Well, they actually sent a whole new torso and now the tight shoulder joint is fixed. I wasn't expecting that, but hey, I'm not gonna complain. I have many things to say about this figure. Some good, and some not so good. But I'm getting ahead of myself. The packaging is basically the exact same as 2B, but it's smaller because A2 comes with less accessories. And the Goodsmile bonus is just a white base for the stand, nothing particularly amazing. Okay, so A2. She has a much simpler design compared to 2B, but she's nicely sculpted. Special care has gone to her toes and thighs. I wonder why. There's not much to say about the paint job, it's just black for the most part. Sure, some of it is a bit messy, but nothing serious really. Though I have to say, the dirt detail on her skin took me off guard and I actually thought it was fucking mold. On one hand, yeah, you could say that Figma did a good job, it almost fooled me. But on the other hand, you could also say that this is because the rest of the figure is way too clean. Maybe it's just because I'm more used to the game version of the character. The hair looks nice, and you can hinge it out of the way to check the back detail. By the way, those hips look great. I wish I could say the same about how they feel. Holy cow, that sounded creepy as fuck. But believe me, it'll make sense when we get there. The short hair looks great too. And it's actually the one I like the most. Short hair supremacy. I'll die on that hill. Out of the box, A2 has this neutral expressionless face, but she also comes with an angry face and a screaming face. As shown previously, you have an extra head with short hair. You just have to decapitate her, split her skull, shove your preferred face in, and put her back together. Looks good. A2 comes with 4 pairs of hands, fists, palms, grabby hands, and hands for her weapons. I don't know their names. Her big sword is, well, big. I really like the metallic paint they used this time around, much better than what they used for 2B's weapons. And just like those, you have to take the handle and slide it into the figure's hands. Thankfully, the connection is actually solid, which makes this my favorite sword for this play. Yeah, the sword is way too heavy. Almost unusable for most poses. A thick waifu with long white hair and a heavy sword that's comically big. Where have I seen this before? I prefer her other sword. Much smaller, not as heavy, and with the same metallic finish. But in order to use it, you have to force it into the hand. I hate this, I hate this, I hate this, I hate it! It looks quite good, especially when you take advantage of the articulation. Speaking of which, her head can rotate, but you have to be careful because the hair gets in the way. Unlike 2B, there is some side-to-side movement, she can barely look up, but if you move the hair, too loose by the way, she has a bit more range. Still not enough in my opinion. She can't really look down because of the hair once again, but unlike the strands at the side, these are made of hard plastic. Why? The only workaround that I could think of is to use the short hair piece. Doesn't look the cleanest, but hey, it works. As you can probably imagine, articulation with the short hair has more range. Short hair supremacy, the neck is on a ball joint. Arms can rotate, but the range is limited by the sculpt at this point. No matter what you do, the arm will always go out a bit, which sucks, but it's not a big deal. What is a big deal is how far the arms can go out, and the butterfly joints are also quite good. Hindered by the boobs. Missed opportunity to use double jointed elbows. That joint is quite distracting. Bicep swivel and the typical Figma joint for the hands. Now, the upper torso has decent range with acceptable gaps. It even has some side to side, but the lower torso is where my problems with the figure start. This gap is not that ugly, but when you try to bring the torso back, it gets stuck and pushes on this very soft plastic. I kid you not, this alone has made the posing experience quite frustrating for me. But it gets worse. And for a better explanation, I'll show you the hip design. This T-shaped thing right here can move. This is what allows the movement I showed earlier. Ideally, it would stay centered with this soft plastic to maintain natural looking poses. However, it can move independently. And on top of that, her ass is basically flopping around. Where am I going with this? Well, you can easily get gaps like this and shit like this. I mean, technically it's more articulation. But every time I want to pose her, she ends up in a fucking hip thrust. So fucking annoying. However, the rest of the articulation is actually amazing. I was especially surprised with the splits and the inclusion of double jointed knees. The feet are just regular figma joints. Just two more things to point out. The thigh swivel is ridiculously tight for some reason, and the soft plastic warps way too easily. This is from just a week of use, I swear. But no matter what I do, it always goes up. Like my dick. So yeah, she has good articulation. It's just that the posing experience has not been as smooth as I would have liked. Now onto the size comparisons. MP44S Prime, SHF Chainsaw Man, and Figma 2B. Wow, she does have a big head. I have mixed feelings about A2. She has better articulation than 2B overall, and while she might not have many accessories, the quantity is enough to pull off some nice looking poses. Heck, I didn't even get a single QC issue, but there are some rough edges that I definitely did not like. But she's the only possible A2 figure at this scale, go buy it! It's coming soon.